What's up, y'all? This is ATX Yankee. It is May the 4th, so May the 4th be with you. So down here in Texas this weekend, we had a little shootout up in Garland. And I say up in Garland because that's north of where I'm at. And, you know, these guys, so there's this basically contest to draw the Prophet Muhammad. And so these two assholes basically uh, went in, guns drawn, and got put down. And apparently got put down really fucking fast. And before I get into like what the story is about, what amazes me is how fucking stupid you can be to expect to go somewhere, guns drawn in the state of Texas, and not expect to get put down immediately before you can do any damage. They managed to shoot a security guard in the leg. In the leg. That's not even life-threatening. So basically, you went and martyred yourself, not doing any real damage, getting put down in a split second, and you couldn't even manage to tag a guy in the chest. How fucking incompetent are you that you couldn't do that? Anyways, so obviously drawing the Prophet Muhammad mixed with the free speech ramifications. And I was reading an article. One guy called it the assassin's veto. I think a better name would be the bullet veto or the thug veto, or we could call it the social justice veto, whatever you want to call it. The idea of cultural veto over free speech. And my girlfriend and I were talking about this, and we're getting into it a little bit on basically what it boiled down to her was, the free speech wasn't necessarily valid because they were hiding behind the concept of free speech or their basic right of free speech to make fun of another person's religion. And I'm just like, hold on a second. How many religions have been mocked? How many portrayals of Jesus Christ, Confucius, Buddha, take your pick of whatever saints you want in the Catholic Church? So why the fuck does Islam, the new kid on the block, get such a fucking pass? They're getting mocked just like everyone else. Doesn't give them the right to, their followers to show up and start shooting just because they're portraying their prophet in a light they don't like. It's not legit. It doesn't matter. And so we kind of get into this idea of, well, is the speech good or not? And I'm sorry, it doesn't fucking matter. Your speech is your speech. The right to free expression is a basic human right. That means it doesn't matter who the fuck you are, where the fuck you are, what the fuck you're even saying. The right to expression is a fundamental human right. And it is enshrined in country's law after country's law. It's enshrined in the US Constitution. It was so fucking important that it was the first goddamn amendment. So why the fuck do you think that you can just abridge that because you don't like the content? And then so she and I get into this whole notion of, well, valid, invalid, good or bad, and I made the offhand comment that the hardest speech to defend is speech you don't like. And she tried to say that's a qualifier, and I disagree. The speech, it doesn't matter. What you're saying, what your expression is, it doesn't fucking matter. What matters, though, is how you, an individual, and then your society defends that. You can sit here and go, you Westboro Baptist fuckers are complete pricks, assholes. You need to shut the fuck up. Doesn't mean they have to. It's your right to say that, and it's their right to keep protesting. Doesn't make them right, doesn't make them correct, but it doesn't change the fact that they have that fundamental right to free speech. It is a basic human right, and it's one that really needs to be enforced more. I was reading an article from the Wall Street Post. And while, it was really cool to see that most Americans especially firmly believe in the absolute right of free speech, it's like 40% think that the First Amendment goes too far, and I'm just sitting here going, what the fuck is wrong with you? The First Amendment was very carefully designed to enforce natural rights. If you look at it, the First Amendment protects a basic idea that you can believe whatever the fuck you want, that you can think whatever the fuck you want, that there is no such thing as a thought crime, that you have the right to your own brain and what goes on inside your fucking mind. And it's unbelievable that 40% of goddamn Americans thinks that the First Amendment goes too far in the protections of that. It just astounds me that in 2015, I'm sitting here listening to motherfuckers say, oh, you can't think that, you can't say that. No, fuck you. It's the first goddamn amendment. I say what I want. I can say what I think. And it doesn't guarantee me the right to audience. And I'm sure that I'm going to get some flack and there are going to be some rebuttals against this. And guess what? That's your goddamn right. You get that fucking right. You get the right to rebut. You get the right to expose it to your audiences and say whatever the fuck you want. So, fuck you. Fuck everyone who thinks that the First Amendment goes too far. Fuck everyone who thinks that the guys up in Garland who held that contest didn't have that goddamn right to hold that contest and to demonstrate their speech in political cartoon format. Fuck every single person who thinks that it's even remotely okay that a couple of crazies went after them with guns. Or that the guys back in France who got shot down in their office were in the wrong. Fuck all of you. So that's basically all I really have to say. But, it is what it is. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people who are like, oh, you're wrong. Oh, you use the word fuck too much. Oh, you shouldn't be saying this. Oh, nobody's saying that right. Well, not true. There's lots of people who are saying that those assholes were in the right or that they were provoked, which is the same thing as saying they were right. People want to talk about victim blaming. Well, that's a great goddamn example of it. So this was just a little unstructured rant. I cut it together. It was probably super shitty. I don't care. I might start doing this more often. Check it out. Write me. You don't like something, you like something. You can hit me up at atx02@gmail.com. Or you can tweet me. I don't check the Twitter that much, but same, whatever. It's the same thing. ATXYankee02. Pretty much anywhere. Yeah, later, shitlords.